have to make things happen, and that's what this city is capable of. That's what we have shown time and again. It is a moment that demands change. It is required of us. We have it within our grasp. Look, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of anguish, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of confusion. I understand that all those things may make people feel hopeless, but I've also seen all of those feelings, all of those challenges turn into action. I've seen it. I've seen it happen in our time in this city. And now it is happening again. Yesterday, a very powerful announcement by the NYPD. Yesterday, an announcement that the decision to end the work of the plainclothes unit and change to a more modern, community-based approach. Yesterday, a decision that said, we keep learning lessons, we keep hearing voices of the community, we keep hearing voices from the young people who are our future, like those young people I met in Southeast Queens on Saturday, who understand their value and they want the world around them to see their value too. They want to be respected, they want to be heard. Everyone needs safety. That is a foundation for all of us. Safety has to be done with the people of our neighborhoods. So the decision, really crucial decision, to disband that unit and move us forward, deepening neighborhood policing, deepening the connection, the communication between our police and the people of our communities. That is a signature day for this city that change can happen. When I was in Southeast Queens, I heard those voices of young people. I saw the powerful work of the crisis management system. I saw what people were doing in the Pure Violence movement. Community people solving community problems, people stopping violence before it happened, uplifting young people rather than denigrating them. I heard from young people how often they felt they were not seen
this weekend
by our society, by our government, by our police. They weren't given their value. I heard the trauma that they lived with.
I am Stephanie, and this is Intelligent Luxury. We're going to listen to the
But I also heard strong voices.
And we're going to cook.
Strong
we're going
voices
to talk
filled
about
with
literature. And we're going to talk about entrepreneurship specifically towards women and men who attended college, who like to read, who graduated from college, who didn't attend college and like to read.
The crisis management system and the pure violence movement, or whether it's changing the way we police to engage communities more deeply and recognize that true safety comes from working from the grassroots up. Look, I believe in change because I've seen it with my own eyes. So to everyone out there who doubts it, I tell you over and over again, I have seen the difference of neighborhood policing versus what we had before, which was aggressive and punitive and arrest-oriented. I've seen the difference of not choosing to arrest. What it means that 180,000 fewer people were arrested in 2019 compared to 2013.
My script, I have on a...
I've seen the difference
you can have your script
ending broken policies like stop and frisk.
iPad. So this is Stephanie. I love reading books. My website is intelligentluxurymagazine.com. And my hair is different.
Now the
my
lowest
hair to be different,
jail population since World War II in the city of New York.
Ow.
The lowest rates of incarceration of any big city in America. All of these things are example of real change that the people demanded.
I like different hairstyles, and I like my hair.
What we've seen just in the last week,
the
extraordinary actions by the state legislature to end the 50A law that withheld the kind of transparency we needed to give people trust in policing. The actions we have taken, that commitment to shift funding, and we're going to do that in the next 2 weeks in our budget, shifting funding from the NYPD to youth services, to social services, to the things that actually go at the root cause of so many of the problems.
I love reading books. Mr. Michael Jordan owns a Nissan automobile dealership in North Carolina, in Durham, North Carolina. Mr. Bob Johnson owns a Mercedes-Benz automobile dealership in Huntsville, Alabama. And Mr. Michael Jordan is the chairman of the NBA team, the Charlotte Hornets. Jordan is the first former player to become the majority owner of the NBA franchise. Michael Jordan's Nissan's website is michaeljordannissan.com. The Hornets' website, the Charlotte Hornets website is hornets.com. And it's an NBA men's basketball team, the Charlotte Hornets.
Of Southeast Queens. I'm here to tell you the actual answers reside among the people. And that's where we'll put our energy, and that's where we'll put our
Mr. Bob Johnson is my owner of the NBA team, the Charlotte Hornets. He is the first African-American man to own the majority of the NBA team. I pray for the sobriety of everyone. I didn't know people could hypnotize people to use narcotics, so I apologize yet. I don't accept people being violent too.
We recognize the
and
power
the Jordan brand sells apparel and accessories. Nike.com or Jordan sells apparel and accessories on Nike.com or Jordan.com.
After we retrained all our police officers,
also, the Dior shoe, the men's Dior shoe with the Jordan brand is on sale on Dior.com.
With body-worn cameras, we've spread them out, 24,000 now in our police force. By far the biggest body-worn camera.
I apologize, my laptop makes a high sound.
People see accountability, see results from the presence of those cameras. We have to get to the day where people see the police officer there to protect them and have faith. The faith has to be mutual. It has to be that everyone understands.
Michael Jordan is the minority owner of Miami Marlins with Derek Jeter. And you can travel to Marlins.com.
That together. It may seem utopian, but as I was there in Southeast Queens on Saturday listening to those young people, I thought we can get to a day.
I think Mr. Michael Jordan is my father. However,
a young man
how would I know? Then MLB.com is where you can purchase tickets to MLB games, and MILB.com is where you can purchase tickets to minority. I'm sorry, minor league.
That is a day that's in all of our interest. That's a day when everyone in the society counts.
If available.
And to do that, we need more transparency and more accountability. So today we announced a new policy related to the disclosure of body-worn camera footage. Previously, disclosure had been solely at the discretion of the commissioner and for very narrow purposes.
Michael Jordan owns Sinclair Tequila with his friends.
All video and audio footage of incidents
a lot of women like the way Michael Jordan looks.
One of those three criteria I'll name now. When an officer discharges their firearm
a man.
Someone or could
He is the first
someone,
African American.
when an officer discharges a taser in a way that results
he is the second African American, or the third African American billionaire in the history of the earth.
In those cases, the obligation will be for the NYPD to release all pertinent video and audio footage within 30 days. And I want everyone to understand that this is
Forbes said that Michael Jordan and the owners of the Lakers, and I love the people that I met, of some people that work for Forbes magazine. They own Sinclair.
And it's important to recognize, even as there's anger and pain, that retraining and de-escalation, the different approach.
Sinclair Starting Five is Michael Jordan with co-founders Wick Grousbeck, Amelia Fazzolari, Jeannie Buss, and Wes Edens. Jeannie Buss owns the LA, is the majority owner of the LA Lakers, or one of the majority owners?
That creates trust, that creates accountability. That says to the many, many good officers that they know the whole truth will come out from what they saw, from their literal perspective. And it says to any officer
so Ms. Jeannie Buss is the co-owner of the LA Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks co-owner Wes Edens, and Celtics co-owner Rick Grousbeck. They own Sinclair with majority chairman and the chairman of the Michael Jordan, chairman of the NBA team, the Charlotte Hornets. I haven't purchased Sinclair, however, it's available at ShopRite Liquors and other liquor
Today is
stores.
another step. There is much more to come in the weeks ahead. Now, I don't think we've ever had a time like this in our city's history where so many things were being confronted simultaneously. There's such intense importance.
So thank you
But
for the
answer
people
in every
at Forbes and all the
case is to
Forbes
believe
that I met.
in the city and our people and what we can achieve together. So just
All the
like we
Forbes,
are making
people that
change
work,
right
all the
now, and
editors at
will make
Forbes
more
and
change
the
when it
staff
comes
that
to
are
policing.
publishing
We will
staff that
hear
I
the
met
voices
at
of people
Forbes
who demand that change. We
magazine.
will act on it. We are and we will more. We also recognize that the fight against the coronavirus depends on every single New Yorker. We are deep, deep in this battle, and I've said many times my deep appreciation to all of you for what you've done to help move us forward, and we continue to move forward. But the fact that we've come so far should never allow us to become complacent or to feel for a moment there can't be a resurgence.
The bottle is a really nice bottle. It's a 12 bottle, and it averages the retail price is about more than $65, and then there's a larger bottle that's around between maybe two, I guess, and $400.
And we now have a whole new reality with our test and trace core. This is something we talked about back in April. We said it would be built in May, and in June it has come alive on a huge, huge scale. In a moment, you're going to hear from Dr. Ted Long. He and his team at Test and Trace are doing an amazing job of building out this capacity rapidly in a way we've never seen before in this city's history.
Mr. Michael Jordan attended the university at Chapel Hill, and Mr. Michael Jordan donated $7 million to fund the Novant Health Michael Jordan Family Clinic in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2017.
Way ahead of schedule, and that's such powerful news.
The Cornerstone Group is a restaurant group.
Will be tested by the beginning of July. That is 1/3 of 1,000,000 people a week. It's an extraordinary step forward. Our tracer core is now tracking approximately 4,300 cases just in the last days that they've been up and running. And this summer, they will be building out to the potential to monitor.
I'm happy for people to give me constructive criticism without yelling or interrupting my program
help and support
via illegal ways. So the Cornerstone Group.
Now, I remind everyone that anyone who needs a test or anyone who is symptomatic and needs help
at several different restaurants, including Michael Jordan's restaurants. Michael Jordan has several different types of restaurants. Let me smile at my father and Michael Jordan and my mother, Stephanie. My mother. I'm sorry, my mother. I'm not going to say my mother's name. I am Stephanie. My mother's not named Stephanie. So the Cornerstone Group is a group that co-owns restaurants with Michael Jordan, Mr. Michael Jordan.
Or you're symptomatic, and you want to make sure you don't spread the disease to your family or anyone else. Call that number and help will be available to you.
And they own restaurants in Connecticut.
I have confidence in our ability to keep fighting back this virus. We're all in it together, to say the least. But we have now
Illinois
to keep this
and in the state of Washington.
Executive Director of Test and Trace Corps, Dr. Ted Long.
He does not own a restaurant in Washington, D.C. yet.
The mission of the Test and Trace Corps is to prevent the spread of the coronavirus across New York City. And this starts with identifying cases or people newly diagnosed.
So the Washington District of Columbia, the capital of the United States.
May have exposed to the coronavirus. Since starting the Test and Trace Corps
And let me
program
tell
on June 1st, just 2 weeks ago, we've identified more than 5,000 cases or people newly diagnosed with the coronavirus. Of those, 15% we had a challenge. We didn't have a phone number for them. However, for everybody that we did have a phone number for, all of those cases, we have now reached 94% of them. Of that 94% that we've reached, more than 1,800 of these cases have shared with us contacts or people they may have exposed to the coronavirus. That's yielded us a list of more than 4,000 contacts across New York City. Now, we had the same challenge with that list of 4,000 contacts, where 36% of them we didn't have a phone number for yet. However, for those that we did have a phone number for, we've reached more than 80% of them. And of that more than 80%, there was a subset, more than 300 people, that when we were talking to them on the phone, they shared with us that they were actively symptomatic and likely contagious with the coronavirus. And in that moment, we were able to get them...
Mr. Michael Jordan co-owns the Michael Jordan Steakhouse,
and we were able to
and
get them
it's about statesmanship
that they needed to get through this.
in
Today,
different
since the program
cities.
went live on June 1st, as the mayor said, we've monitored more
I
than
love smiling at
4,200
my father,
New
Michael
Yorkers.
Jordan, and my mother.
That's 65% of all of our cases and contacts put together. Of that,
Even if you don't have a lot of money,
65%
you
our cases
can live and
contacts,
dream
more
about,
than 1,000
anticipate,
when we were
or
talking to them
aspire
on the
to
phone,
live
told
a
us
luxurious
they needed
life.
help.
It's about being an
That help was in
artist.
the form of
It's about
food
creating
delivery, help with
essays,
their medication.
poems.
And
It's
for each
about
of them, we paired
creating
them up with a resource
film. It's
navigator,
about
and we've
creating
given them the help that they need
recipes.
to get their
It's
families
about
and their
creating
neighbors through this. In addition to that, 40 New
art.
Yorkers have arrived at our hotels after telling us that
And
they
that's what
couldn't
it's
safely
about.
separate at home and they needed even more help.
Michael Jordan Steakhouse is one of the most acclaimed destinations, reads the website. They have a site in Chicago, and the Chicago Steakhouse has mjshchicago.com as a website. And I believe specific restaurants are open for curbside pickup.
Doctors' offices that ordered the test because they have their patients' phone numbers, and then we're calling our cases and contacts based on those phone numbers.
So they said it's all about the steak, not the
Yesterday, we
sizzle.
went live with training
So
at
we
new
love
type
steak,
of tracers. This is a
and it's located
community
on the
engagement
Magnificent.
specialist, and these tracers are the ones that go into our
I think it's
communities,
the
track people
Magnificent
down,
Mile
knock on doors, and enroll
on
them in
Michigan
the program.
Avenue, and you can get the address
Let me
on
say one more thing today. This is very important.
mjshchicago.com. That's Michael
One of the key
Jordan
reasons why
Steakhouse,
our program is so successful so
mjshchicago.com.
early on is that more than half of all of our tracers,
And
all
you
of our
can reserve
3,000
table
working
23.
tracers, are people from our
Table
hardest hit
23
communities
is Michael
across
Jordan's
New York
table. When
City.
he's not
Making
there,
this a
you
local
can
effort
reserve table
with New
23.
Yorkers in our communities.
And that's on
serving our communities. I'm pleased to announce today that we're
mjshchicago.com.
awarding $4 million to community-based organizations to join us in the fight against the coronavirus and to drive this work
When you go to the website, you have to scroll with an arrow
Thank you so much,
with the
Ted.
page down button and not
You and your team.
the,
It's really extraordinary work, and
pointer
everyone
or
who's worked
mouse
has done about
for your
2 weeks,
computer.
The last 2 weeks of getting this effort up and running on a vast scale, connecting with all those people, building out constantly. Absolutely impressive work, and a lot more to come.
So that's interesting.
Let me talk about the daily indicators. Indicator number 1, daily number of people admitted to hospitals for suspecting COVID-19. That threshold is 200 patients, and today's report...
The restaurant in Connecticut at the Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort, that website address is mjshconnecticut.com.
Threshold of 15% today, an excellent number. 2%, that is the kind of number we are so proud of, because that all indicates what you have done and what hard work every New Yorker has put themselves to get to this point. So again, congratulations. These are the kind of indicators we want to see more and more of as we get closer and closer to phase 2. These are the kind of results that are going to get us there and beyond.
The restaurant in the state of Washington,
Necesitamos
website
aprovechar este
is
momento.
MJSH, that's Michael Jordan Steakhouse,
Este momento importante.
Elani.com, and Elani is a casino.
Nuestro dolor en progreso.
So I like going to casinos. Sometimes I used to play the penny slot machines. Now I like to go listen to music. Sometimes they have artists at different restaurants and casinos.
Solo así podremos crear la confianza que necesitamos para mejorar nuestras comunidades y policía. With that, we'll turn to our colleagues in media. Please let me know the name and outlet of each journalist.
Hi all, just a reminder that we have
They
Executive
have
Director of the
a menu on the website, and you can learn
learn
about the
And on the phone
location
we have Small Business
if you
Commissioner
visit
Doris and Senior Advisor Dr. Barna. With
mjsahilani.com.
that, I will start with Rich Lamb from WCBS.
Those are the luxury restaurants. There is another Michael Jordan's restaurant
Good morning.
in
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
the Mohegan Sun and Resort, and that's the MJ23 Cafe.
Unit in the NYPD. Is that something that's a permanent thing, or would it be reversed if you saw any change?
You may have to make a reservation to
Is it
go
changeable,
to
or is
Michael
it?
Jordan's restaurant.
It's permanent, Rich. It's a decision. Look, Commissioner Shea and I have talked for a long time, literally for 6.5 years.
Oh, I will
about
send
all
a
the
video
changes needed in
email
this department.
also.
Now, we've been steadily implementing them, and what we find is that these reforms work.
Mr. Michael
They
Jordan.
help us fight crime in a better way, and they bring community and police closer together. So this is a permanent change.
More information on
Personnel will be
MBUSA
used in
and
new
its
and
products
different
can be
ways to
found
fight
on
crime more
MBUSA.com.
effectively, and in a way
On my website,
that
Intelligent
leads to
Luxury
better
Magazine.
relationships with the community. And that's the way forward for this city and for the NYPD. You have a follow?
.com. On my website, IntelligentLuxuryMagazine.com, you can read about there's a link to Mr. Bob Johnson, founder of founder of BET, BET, Black Entertainment Television. He has a Mercedes-Benz dealership, and it's on my website. So there are links to the restaurants and links to the luxury restaurants.
I have never heard that, Dana,
and
that doesn't
links,
make sense to me. It
and a
would
link
not
to,
shock me
and a link
if there were
to,
some delays just because
and
there's so
a
much
link
going on and so
to
much
Mr.
complexity of what people
Bob
are facing in each
Johnson.
agency. But no, of course, we have to abide by the law.
Mercedes
You'll get the details
Benz
to our team here at City Hall.
Automobile
We'll follow up and we'll get that rectified.
dealership
Thank you.
in
My
Alabama.
second question, you made two.
So y'all can visit that website to know where it's located in Alabama.
Commissioner Shea wasn't here,
And that's on IntelligentLuxuryMagazine.com. Then he also has hotels that he co-owns or owns. The hotel managed by Marriott or Hyatt or Hilton, and a few other hotels. And that's
Constantly give people an understanding of what it means to serve shoulder to shoulder with someone for 6 years.
is
From the very beginning of my
important.
time as mayor, I've been working closely
So,
with Shea.
the University of Pennsylvania is a college where you can apply. You can go to what's it called, upenn.edu, and then unc.edu is the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's website. Harvard University's website is harvard.edu. Temple University website is temple.edu, and that is my alma mater.
I also commend him for the action yesterday, releasing video that was not in the public domain and acting on that video with decision to suspend an officer who did something that didn't conform with our values. So I have a lot of respect for him, a lot of faith in him.
Union Square Hospitality
I'm very convinced that Commissioner Shea is going to keep moving an aggressive agenda of reform
is a
and help move the
hospitality
city
group.
forward.
Next we have Gloria from New York One.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Mayor. I kind of wanted to follow up on Dana's question.
Sometimes people have to intern. So I intern for certain companies. Sometimes I work for certain companies for free in order to have them, and they help me promote our
where you
website.
are at, because as this conversation moves around the country, several other departments have already announced that they are taking certain enforcement duties out of the hands of police officers. I'm talking about responding to calls regarding someone who might be intoxicated.
Thank you,
or mental
casinos like
distress,
Caesar's
a
Palace
homeless
and
person.
Bellagio
I know that that's
and
been
the Palazzo
in discussion here in the city
and
for years,
Planet
but it hasn't
Hollywood
really moved
and Donald
anywhere.
Trump's casinos in Las Vegas for
for
helping the press write about Las Vegas, which is a really nice place. Actually, I actually really don't gamble in Las Vegas. I go to different performances and walk, and I pray to go to the Grand Canyon one day. So one day I'm going to go to the Grand Canyon.
publish
And
proactively body cam.
Alani is a resort, and that's
This is all part
AlaniResort.com.
of a series of changes you're going to see. Now, the issue of the right focus for the NYC going forward, obviously you can see changes.
Just ignore the
already
person
on
talking.
vendors and the
It's not
city
Michael
made
Jordan or
progress.
myself or
We're going to be in a real
mayor's
conversation
people.
with the city council.
The mayor has a lot of things I want to talk about. He talked about small businesses yesterday after he spoke at the press conference. They sent me information. I want to talk about that.
And that is what we'll address over the next
The
2 weeks.
president we're going to talk about right now, I'm going to talk about. And the new 2021 Mercedes AMG GT 43 four-door coupe offers an additional entry point to the AMG T family. And you can please go to nbusa.com to learn more about the Mercedes-Benz
These are specifically in Williamsburg,
AMGT.
and in other areas of Brooklyn. You've gotten questions about this in the past.
I'm sorry, the
There's some
Mercedes
frustration that the playgrounds are not
AMG
opening up
GT
yet.
40.
They say they're going against
40
your orders
43.
and cutting these locks open. So your reaction to that, and is the city just going to show up and close them again? And are you going to have to clean them up? What's the process here?
Yeah, but we're not going to allow people to take the law into their own hands. It just doesn't work. So
Don't take the law into your own hands.
allowed to open up a playground that's not yet.
That's what the mayor de Blasio stated.
Look, I was very sympathetic in the beginning.
3 months ago, we launched the president said 3 months ago, they launched the National Elder Fraud Hotline, which has already received over 1,800 calls. In 3 years, we've changed nearly 1,000 defendants, involving over $2.2 billion in fraud against our seniors. So that's really interesting. And the vice president has lunch with Governor Kim Reynolds today of Iowa. So we're going to talk about Iowa today. Let's talk about Iowa.
I understand people's frustrations.
And maybe we'll talk about it again tomorrow.
That causes the disease to start spreading again, then that's the kind of thing that will undermine our ability to get to
This is amazing. This is really awesome, as I would say. The vice president is going to tour the Winnebago Industries.
Next we have
So-
Henry from Bloomberg.
Now the mayor is answering questions from the press.
Thank you, Henry. Feeling better. That's good.
I'm the only host of this show, and I will be the only host of this show. And I will have I will interview different people at different locations as soon as I earn more revenue from advertising. Although I do have a lot of advertisements. Someone allegedly stole something from my Google account. It's false. My advertising account, and we're trying to figure that out, I guess.
This restaurant chain and
Allegedly. Let's talk about the Winnebago Industries.
I'm just wondering whether there are consequences for that. What does that
The Winnebago Industries is a motorhome or RV recreational vehicle company, and they have different companies. In my last episode, I talked about Mr. James Brown. He graduated from Harvard University, and he's the host of the NBA team. He's the host of the NFL Sunday show on CBS. He was in a Airstream. So he was in Airstream. And Airstream is another motor vehicle company. And they have luxury motorhome and recreational vehicle companies. And those are the shows that are on the Discovery channels. Especially, I love those shows about the RV. I used to have a Barbie RV, and it was yellow. And I actually threw it in the garbage, and now you can purchase it online. So it's really great that the internet has ways of people have these Barbie motorhomes for sale. I didn't have a Barbie house, so I always make that. I always laugh. I love my Barbie RV, but I really wanted the Barbie house, so that's why they call me Stephanie. So it's a really nice motorhome. They still make them, so the Barbie motorhome is really good. But the Airstream and the Winnebago have luxury recreational vehicles. So they have Winnebago Grand Design recreational vehicles, Chris Craft, and Newmar. And let me talk to you about the brands. I always wanted to travel in a Winnebago. That's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to tell my mother I have a script. I edited my script. I know how to make a script. I took, in my high school, we had a television studio. And we wrote a script and learned how to use the cameras, and some people anchored, so that's good. And now I'm an anchor of my own show. But the scripts change because it is the news, so it's good to just be able to. It's alright if the script changes, but not to go over time. Eh? So they have different types of models, and I thought it would be great to use on the street team. I was on the street team at CBS Radio, and I was like, wouldn't it be great to have a Winnebago? And it would be great to have a Winnebago. I say bagel, I have an accent, sorry, it's like Winnebago. Yeah, and I don't, this is so interesting that they have a Winnebago. So it's at winnebago.com, WINNEBAGO.com. They have different Winnebagos since 1958. And it's great that recreational vehicles have bathrooms. So Vice President Pence is visiting today. I wonder if he can bring me a Winnebago.
Somehow you are separating yourself so far from the traditions and culture of the police department that you may have a lot of difficulty.
So I'm just joking. Don't unless you want to bring me a Winnebago. I may like to drive a promotional vehicle with a Winnebago and show people the Winnebago. So I wanted to have a recreational vehicle show. I think it was great to have a Barbie motorhome. My Barbie motorhome had a bathroom, it had like a little kitchen, it had a bedroom. So I think it would be great. So Michael Jordan wants to know. You know where you can park the vehicle? I don't know if you can park them in everywhere. So ask the salesperson if you can park. There's the Horizon that's starting at about $400,000, $434,968,000, and then they have the Vista starting at about $141,240. And then they have the Intent starting at $122,619. So I'll tell you about the Intent. Luxury is love. You know, you go out to the RV, you could stay at a hotel, maybe you could park your RV in an RV parking lot if someone has an RV parking lot, and drive home and not park it at your home. But it's great to have a bathroom, a kitchen, and a park that you can use if someone wants to sleep by the beach or by the lake or by the river. It's great to have a Winnebago. That's what I would use it for. I may not sleep in the Winnebago, but a lot of stores, I think Walmart lets people park their Winnebagos. Do they still do that? That was in the past, maybe. But this Intent, this perfect recreational vehicle is for everybody that's nice to me and that didn't rape me. I just pray that victims of rape understand that. I mean, if they were forced to rape me, that I just don't want to socialize with them. I have my mother and my father, and that's who I socialize with. My father, Michael Jordan. And he hired me a bodyguard at the youth, and I think that's interesting. So I actually grew up poorer than other people, but really wealthier than other people, because my mom was a really nice person. So the Intent has a living space that features to turn the outdoors into your own living room, and inside, they say, rest easy, knowing that the Intent's groundbreaking structure designed to be safe and to have style. So this is a Class A vehicle.
for federal stimulus money.
And they have different floor plans. It's about one floor plan
Yeah, Julia, such an important question.
sleeps 5, one floor plan sleeps 8. So the 31-foot length sleeps 8, and this is the Winnebago. There's a storage area, a wardrobe, a TV, a queen bed, and a storage area in the bedroom. There's a sliding door. There's a bunk beds that are in the in the other room. So there's 2 kind of rooms. The bunk beds, 30 inches by 73 inches. Michael Jordan probably needs a longer bed because the queen bed is 60 inches by 75 inches. So 75 inches is only about 60, 6 times 6, 60, 6 times 10, and 6 times 2 is 60, 72. So that's only about 6 feet. So some people need about 6 feet 3 inches, 75. And that's it has a shower that's 25 by 30 inches, or why do they say inches? So inches, 2 inches. That might need to be a little bigger for the taller people. And then the pantry, there's a refrigerator, a storage, a shelf, 2 seats in the front, and a studio loft bed. So that sleeps 8. So 2 people can sleep in the queen bed, 2 people in the bunk beds, 2, 4, 6, and 2 people maybe in a studio loft bed. There's a dinette with a high-low table that's 40 inches by 64 inches, and there's a TV, and it slides out. It has to slide out when after you can't be there when you drive. Oh, this looks nice. If you go to Winnebago.com, there's it's a nice table, has a sink. So this is great. You could drive to different places and different hotels, and while you're driving, you can use the bathroom. Oh, maybe I'll drive a Winnebago to DC. Do I need a license? It's a Class A. Do I need a license for the other? I can drive a small Winnebago. I've driven a van before. So anyway, that's starting at $122,619 for the intent Winnebago recreational vehicle, motorhome vehicle that sleeps 8. The other model is the Horizon. That's the most expensive model. That's the luxury model. And that's a motorhome. And the floor plan says that it sleeps about 4 people. So maybe we can use this for, anyone can use these for promotional vehicles. You know, like if you want a store, you can have a bathroom and a kitchen, or maybe take the kitchen out for people to be able to go in and change their clothes, or look at the clothes, or try on clothes. Or maybe take out the bedroom and add another kitchen for people to and serve food and have a bathroom for people to use, for staff, employees, and people that are eating. Like Michael Jordan's restaurant.
It's a very important question. I appreciate the question.
So anyway,
a lot of the most important things
I have
are about
this
policing.
wardrobe.
To change the reality of policing much more deeply.
I actually like my hair this way, Mom. My mom is probably
a lot more transparency and accountability.
It's working. My father's probably working. So the NBA and games are going to start in July, I believe. And you can travel to NBA.com for more information about that. There's an optional dishwasher, there's a Rest Easy extendable sectional, and a lounge chair, and a fireplace, TV, location, soundbar. A fireplace. And then a storage, I like that, fireplace. And then a recline, incline, and a king bed. That's cool. And a double sliding door, and a TV location bar, and the bed is 80 inches. So that's about 6 foot 9 inches. He needs a larger bed.
Yes, I do. So,
about 10 more inches.
what other changes do you think you'll be able to
And then for the exterior has different things. In this Winnebago, this is the Horizon Winnebago motorhome RV, recreational vehicle. And it's an elegant interior. It has a full galley with residential stainless steel French door, a refrigerator countertop, but the outside has a front row entertainment outside. Has a HDD TV, soundbar, and wireless subwoofer. And that could be at the Super Bowl or the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game, or the MLB All-Star game, or at Fashion Week. Maybe we can have a Winnebago RV or a Fashion Week. And you can listen to Sirius XM radio. You can listen to different people at Sirius XM radio. Let me tell you, I know people do it. I think I know people that work at Sirius.
Conversation, and we're going to have it. We're going to get somewhere because we always do. But I'll tell you, I've talked a lot.
Let me tell you about Sirius XM.
The first obligation to the constituents is safety.
They have a lineup.
The totality. They want to address this very legitimate moment where people are calling for change, but they also want to make sure that constituents are safe.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So anyway, I wear my hair, I like my hair in a fro, but so let's talk about Sirius XM. They have pop radio stations, hip hop and R&B, jazz standards, Christian radio, rock radio, dance and electronic, country, kids, traffic and weather, classical, and Google also has radio stations. Apple has radio stations, and Amazon doesn't have a radio station. Oh, there's the Beatles radio station, E Street, that's Bruce Springsteen, Elvis, and the R&B station. There's classic soul and hearts. So I subscribe to Sirius Radio. It's a good service. So Soul Town, classic Soul Town, Motown is a great station. There's the Groove, and then there's Heart and Soul.
It's free, so I'll follow my own
Airstream.com.
And my second question has to do with phase 2. At this point, correct me if I'm wrong, but if New York City does not enter phase 2 on Monday, it's not because of the health data, it's because the city isn't ready.
That's hosted by Michael Wright, Heart and Soul, adult R&B hits, and top music from the best artists. And the
Just like all
Groove.
the other regions in the state, New York City is ready for phase 2.
I don't know how to say politely you're wrong, but you're a good guy. I know you a long time. I'll say it very nicely. You're wrong. That's not what's going on. What's going on is we are watching a reality here in New York City that's by far the most complex in the entire state. We are talking constantly.
So also, Carol Ford,
we certainly
she
saw
hosts
an aberrant reality with the protest activity.
Soul Cycle Radio
What that has
on Channel 3 in Sirius, in
in
Canada, and in the US.
We don't know that answer yet because not enough time has passed. Clearly, those protests were outdoors, largely with people with face coverings.
So I used to work with Carol Ford at Mix 102.7,
With the state,
and she's a nice lady, and she used to host 98.7 Kiss FM morning show with Jeff Fox. So it's so great that when I moved to Philadelphia, Jeff Fox and the other man, I forget his name, hosted radio station, there was a radio station. But I listen to TV One station, news station. I don't think it's a station there, but I really love WDAS in Philadelphia, 105.3 FM. Also, Carol Ford's radio show Soul Town is on from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you, Carol.
My first question is a quick one. Can you say if the new body cam policy will apply retroactively to cases for which the footage.
So Carol Ford and I worked together at Mix 102.7. And that's all I'm going to say about that. She's a nice lady. Hello to Carol Ford.
If local leaders, presumably you,
Anyway,
do not take action to
I'll
curb
show you all
crowds
the
that have been
website.
seen around town. What is your
So the
comment
vice
on
president's
that?
going to be in Iowa, and he's going to be at the Winnebago Industries. Maybe they need electricians.
The nightlife office, a number of civilian agencies, and when the NYPD is needed, the NYPD will come into play. Clearly, any place that's reported as a
So thank you,
place
Carol,
where
for.
crowding is going to be addressed. If enforcement is needed, there'll be
So,
enforcement. Not any doubt in the
That's great that he's going to meet with Governor Kim Reynolds. And the Airstream, talking about Winnebago, there's also Airstream. So, Mr. James Brown, the host of the NFL show on CBS, he hosted. What's the name of the show? Mr. Michael Jordan? Inside the NFL?
Policy takes effect immediately for everything that happens from today on.
Last two for today.
Oh, he's a really good dresser.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Last two for today. We have Katie from News 12.
Is it called the NFL today?
Apologies. We're going to go to Katie Conan from the Wall Street Journal.
Thanks. Two of Katie's for today. Mr. de Blasio, I have two questions for you. The first is looking forward
Hey girl, how you doing?
the 4th of July.
So, if y'all watch, it's not shown on
official
the
fireworks
video.
plan, and then if you had an update on the number of lifeguards who have so far completed their required tests.
Oh, this is really interesting. She's the reporter from the Wall Street Journal. She's talking about lifeguards. And
On the fireworks,
it's really important for, especially African Americans, to apply to be a lifeguard.
Macy's, we're perfecting that plan.
So maybe people can donate more money to hire lifeguards and help train people to learn how to swim. It's really important to learn how to swim. And you may be able to learn how to swim anywhere. So Mr. James Brown is a 3-time Emmy Award winner series. A 3-time Emmy Award winner, and he serves as host for the CBS television network's NFL pregame show, The NFL Today. And he works with analysts Boomer Esiason, Bill Cowher, Phil Simms, and Nate Burleson. He was named the best. And that's all I can say right now. But really good guy, graduated from Harvard University. I don't know him personally, I never met him. I guess he would be a good guy. But he's a graduate of Harvard University, where he was a 3-time All-Ivy selection in basketball and is the Harvard Basketball Hall of Fame. Oh, he didn't play football at Harvard. He is involved in a number of charitable activities, including the Ron and Joy Paul Kidney Center at George Washington University and at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. He's also an ordained minister and involved in speaking at churches and conferences around the country. Oh, maybe he could write a book so he can be at my event. Can I be at my event if you don't write a book?
In the interest of transparency,
Ah!
in the interest of transparency,
I'm just joking. You can attend. I need people to write more books. We need more African American authors in libraries and bookstores. So who's gonna write them? So.
right now.
Oh, he also hosts Thursday Night Football. Oh. So on CBS and the NFL Network hosts of the Fox NFL Sunday, correspondent for Real Sports with Brian Gumbo on HBO. I like that show, and I met Mr. Gumbo. And that's great. So when I was born, Brian Gumbo was the host of Today's Show with Jane Pauley. And this is my show. Is long. My father has a lot of friends. My mother. That's alright. Oh, Lord mercy. So what can I read? And I think he was in. I thought he was a football. I didn't want to say any of that.
Did you have a follow-up?
Sure. I've been at some of these protests by
so that was
groups in Williamsburg and
interesting. But he also was in an advertisement for the Airstream.
wanted to open up the
parks, the playgrounds.
So thank you, Mr. James Brown.
That their children are out there on the streets anyhow, playing in dangerous conditions, and they
Airstream has different
if they were in the parks, at least
coaches. So they have trailers and coaches. They have trailers and coaches.
traffic, out of
So their trailers
in better places, because the children themselves
are
not social distancing, and they're doing
their
what they want anyway.
trailers. I knew about Mr. James Brown. Sorry, Michael Strahan just did so. Michael Strahan. I met Michael Strahan. I always say that so I remember. He played for the NFL. He played for the Giants. And he, I watched, he wrote a book, which was an interesting book, but he hosted the show with James Brown on Fox 5. So that was interesting. So that's why I know James Brown used to be on the Fox 5 show with Terry Bradshaw and the guy that coached the Dallas Cowboys and let me think. So I always liked that show. I thought that was an interesting show. I used to watch a lot of the football, you know, and now sometimes as I became a little, sometimes I go to events on Sunday. So I like watching football sometimes. Yeah? So now the Atlas Touring Coach is the most luxurious touring coach today. It's a Class B RV, recreational vehicle, built on the legendary Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van chassis and inspired by the Airstream Interstate series. It's a power slide-out, and it has different luxury. So it's an expansive floor plan, and it's nice. It has a bathroom, it has a kitchen, and a sofa, and two drivers and a table, and I think a closet. And it starts at $239,000, and I'm sorry, $239,000, $261,000.
But those young men are our future, period. It's not a platitude, it is a literal fact.
It's great that I have my own show. It's alright if y'all didn't hire me and I have my own show. It's alright, I ain't violent. And then, so you can take a tour by finding your local dealer on Airstream.com. So this is going to be an amazing. Maybe people can purchase the Winnebagos and travel in the U.S. Also, the coaches start at $161,099, and the Interstate 19 seats up to 4. The Atlas coach starts at $239,261.
And understand the role of community people in solving their own problems. That there are things a community can do that no one in uniform or no one can. And that's how we move forward.
It's a great spacious bathroom that spans the entire rear of the motorhome. A tankless water heater. A hideaway Samsung Smart TV. And a rooftop solar panels. And an on-end diesel generator. Thank you, Mayor de Blasio. I'm going to talk more about what Mayor de Blasio did yesterday and more about him now. So now we're going to cook. Today we're going to make tilapia fillets and mushrooms.
We'll be starting our technical briefing shortly, so if you could just
raise your hand if you have a question for any of our administration members on the line. That would be great. We'll be starting in probably the next.
These are frozen tilapia fillets.
Thank you.
So you can purchase tilapia from your grocery store. This is frozen, and you can cook it on low, and then after it's defrosted, you can add your herbs and spices. You don't need any oil. Just continue to use a spatula so that the fish doesn't stick to the frying pan. I will provide links to those websites after the show. And
Hey, Al, it's Olivia again. We're probably going to start in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you for your patience.
so travel to Winnebago. Please travel to Winnebago.com. I'm heating, and we're going to stuff our mushrooms. You can stuff long peppers, and then we're going to use the different vegetables to stuff our mushrooms. And it's a great way. If you have any vegetable you could stuff, we can use an onion. We can use you can use a potato. You can take out some of the potato. Anything that you have in your kitchen, you can even stuff it into bread. Or make a nice fish cake, or stuff it into the bread. The U.S. Department of State is going to have the U.S. Advisory Commission on Public Diplomacy. The U.S. Advisory Commission on Public Diplomacy will hold a virtual meeting, and the meeting will be soon. And the additional information, that's the U.S. Department of State, as additional information, Minneapolis City Planning Commission meetings can be viewed and downloaded on Minneapolis City Council TV. Minneapolis City Council TV allows you to get an up-close, unedited view of local government decision-making through live and recorded TV and webcasts. And the Minneapolis Planning Commission.
Hey guys, thanks for your patience. We're going to start our technical briefing. Just as a reminder, same rules in terms of one question or two questions. The same rules of the mayor's press conference format are going to apply here. And we have Commissioner Doris, Dr. Long, and counsel to the Mayor Kapelangani on the phone to answer your questions for the next 30 minutes. So with that, the first question goes to Sharon from the New York Times. Sharon?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, this is, I guess.
The Minneapolis City Planning Commission meets twice a month, and the website is ci.minneapolis.mn.us/planning commission/index.htm.
So that's about 35%.
That's ci.minneapolis.mn.us/planning commission/index.htm.
Yes, that's a great question.
And that's
So,
/.
when we interpret that number,
The Southampton Museum has an event for locals.
less than half of the cases that we were
Locals
able
in
to reach
Southampton
on the phone,
and you can go to their website. It's High Style in the Gilded Age, Louisa Robb Livingston. Mary Cummings is back with another look into someone from our main exhibit. The program is for local Southampton residents. So that looks really interesting. So you can Google Southampton
That's something we're anticipating and drives forward some of the
museum.
efforts the mayor's doing.
Just to clarify, if I'm at home and I share the contact of my husband, for example, who's also at home, you don't count that as a shared contact?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they're not even sharing family members at home. Those, I guess.
They've been to be clear, if they're saying they don't have a contact, but there is a family member at home, then they're saying that they have safely self-separated.
It's fair to say that only 35% of people are giving you any other name.
And the website is southamptonhistory.org, and that's the Southampton Historical Museum. And
that seems well below the expectation.
then there's the Kobe Bryant, retired LA Laker basketball player, created the children's novels, the Wizard series.
Yeah, that's a great question. What we've learned from the program so far is that while the hotel
The new Zadie Smith essay collection to be published by Penguin on July 28th, titled Intimations, there is an also 10-speed press and imprint of Penguin Random House, the book titled The Essential Indian Instant Pot Cookbook, written by Archana Mundy, the Minister of Curry. So that's interesting.
Thanks, Sharon. Next we have Aaron from Politico. Aaron?
Hi there. Questions I was gonna ask for actually.
I pray that the weathermen and women in the United States know about wedding, using about weddings. So it's really great to have a wedding planner. And it's really great to hire a weatherman to help you with your wedding plan. Then you have Penguin Random House education website named Penguin Random House Secondary Education.
Because everybody's staying home, and I think what we've seen in the data here reflects exactly that. As we move forward and as the city reopens, we fully expect that we're going to see more and more contacts, and we're going to be tracking and tracing more and more contacts as well. So we plan to be transparent.
There are books on anti-racism for high school students, educators, and parents. Penguin Random House SecondaryEducation.com has books on anti-racism for high school students, educators, and parents. Ta-Nehisi Coates is the author of Between the World and Me, and that's published by Penguin Random House, and that's one of the books on the website Penguin Random House Secondary Education.
The longer answer is that people are telling us that they do need help, and that's a clear signal throughout all of this. It's just that the help that they need, we've offered it in two varieties. Not many people are choosing to be helped so that they can stay home in a manner that keeps their families safe.
I'm cooking the fish, I'm defrosting the fish on low, and I just have my spatula.
We're keeping the options open to make sure that we can give every New Yorker whatever it is that they need to keep their family safe and get through.
Read books on anti-racism for,
Thanks, Aaron. Next we have Anthony from Chronicle Fashion Guide. Anthony?
And the Minister of Curry has a website, and it's Minister Curry. MinisterofCurry.com. Purchase these books as Father's Day's gift. And That's Grant by Ron Chernow. The Masters by Kurt Sampson. Jubilee by Tony Tipton Martin. Dirt by Bill Buford. Camino Island by John Grisham, who is from Mississippi and graduated from the Mississippi Law School. And then Michael Simon's Playing with Fire by Michael Simon and Douglas Stratner. Geek Dad by Ken Denmead. Of Thee I Sing by Barack Obama. American Grown by Michelle Obama. The Point of It All by Charles Krauthammer. At Home by Bill Bryson. And these books were published by Penguin Random House. Between Friends, a romance novel written by Sandra Kitt, is published by Signet. That book is just a good book for everyone to read if you like romance novels. Marcus Off Duty, The Recipes I Cook at Home by Marcus Samuelson is published by Ruxmore and Howe and Mifflin Harcourt. Africaville, a novel by Jeffrey Colvin. Really interesting. Africaville is in Canada. And it's really interesting. I think this book will be really interesting. It's a ferociously talented writer made this stunning debut with the richly woven tapestry set in a small Nova Scotia town settled by former slaves that describes the generations of one family in Nova Scotia. So you can drive to Nova Scotia. I think you can drive, I'm sorry, you can take a ferry to Nova Scotia, but, what am I thinking? I think you can drive to Canada and then take a ferry, or is there a bridge to Nova Scotia? Is there a bridge?
No, I don't know.
And hey, Anthony, it's Olivia. I can follow up with you on that online to see.
I saw that you can drive to Canada, and then you can drive to Nova Scotia. Might not be.
Next, we have Julia from the Post. Julia?
There are islands where you can drive, like the Barrier Islands.
For Dr.
Is it a
Long,
Barrier Island?
I know that your contact tracers are asking generally about why people, about if people have attended events. I'm just wondering why you aren't asking people specifically about either attending the protests or being in those large gatherings outside bars, given that, you're closely monitoring whether the demonstrations have contributed to the virus being spread, and you seem to want to know as specific information as possible in order to trace contacts.
You are able to drive to Nova
That's
Scotia.
a very good question. So the way that we're approaching defining close contacts, meaning contacts that would be at the highest risk for receiving the virus from somebody that is contagious.
One Bright Moon by Andrew Kwong could be interesting. The Encyclopedia of Spices and Herbs, An Essential Guide to Flavors of the World by Padma Lakshmi. I want that book. I'm interested in that book. I like learning about the history of different spices, herbs, and vegetables and fruits, and different types of meat. Guy Fieri Food, Cooking It, Living It, and Loving It by Guy Fieri and Anne Volkwin. That's a book published by HarperCollins. That other book by Padma Lakshmi was hosted by HarperCollins. And then Magnolia Table, published by Volume 2 by Joanna Gaines. I love her show. That's a good show. Her style and my mom's style, they're really interesting. They're very interesting, like Martha Stewartish, but country Texan. So, Barracoon, The Story of the Last Black Cargo by Zora Neale Hurston. I want to read that novel. First, I don't think it's a novel, wait. The First Women, The Grace and Power of America's Modern First Ladies by Kate Anderson Brower. You Have Me at Ola by Alexis Daria.
So we do specifically
These are books that I want to read, so this year maybe. A Perfect Cornish Escape by Philippia Ashley.
close
published
contact
by
with somebody
HarperCollins.
for
Gods and
evidence
Demons
that
by
is
Deborah
Of
Casros.
course we'll ask you
Planning
that
the
now.
World,
Same thing if I think
Joseph
you're gonna
Banks and
look
His
at it, I'll say
Collectors, An
restaurant.
Adventurous History
We
of
need to-
Botany
the definition
by
of what
Jordan
evidence
Goodman.
shows us is the highest risk for transmitting the virus. Of course
Fearless,
we'll
the
ask
life
about that.
of
That's what we're doing
adventurer,
now, but if the
equestrian,
conversation goes
and
into
endurance rider
evidence
Chloe
from other people
Phillips
based on the
Harris
event you're
by
at,
Chloe
then
Phillips
we look at
Harris.
that as well. But I just wanted to be very
Swami
clear that the way that we're
Vivekananda
structuring
Hinduism
close
in
contact
India Road
is
to
we're structuring it based on
Modernity
where the evidence says
by
people that
Makaran
focus
Paranjit.
be able to effectively bring people into testing they're at the highest risk of having received the coronavirus.
Thanks, this is Melanie from the Wall Street Journal. Melanie?
Hey, this is Melanie. Hi, Dr. Long. I have a question for you about where you're testing, what kind of information the testing is giving you in neighborhoods. In areas of the city where there's been
Taste
high
Top
levels of
100.
infection, are you seeing a certain percentage of people testing positive in a way that's reaching a kind of herd immunity? Or
Is the ultimate slow cooker the best of the best recipes from Australia's #1 food site, taste.com.au.
That is a very good question.
Chicano Eats, recipes from My Mexican American Kitchen by Esteban Castillo, published by HarperCollins. The classic Con cookbook based on the original recipes of Narayani
Meaning how many people
Nayak
need to be immune
by
in the community to
Joyous
shut down the spread of the
Na
virus, essentially.
Shah
Right now we are
published by
doing antibody
HarperCollins.
testing for people in different communities, and we are seeing some
The
communities at a
statement
much
on the
higher
room
rate
where
of
it happened by
people that have
Ambassador
seen the virus
John
as
Bolton.
evidenced by the fact that they have
That's going
antibodies.
to be an
Saying that
interesting
we
book.
don't know. We don't know.
It's in the room where it happened. Bolton is
Viruses mutate over
sorry,
time.
Bolton is
The
cooperating with
viruses
the
mutate
National
different
Security
ways.
Council
That
to incorporate
is the
changes
question that we're evaluating right now that
for
will
the
directly
NSC.
inform where you're going
The
with
final
what
published
likely
version of
to
this
know
book
if we
reflects
reach herd
those
immunity.
changes,
I hope we get that
and
answer
Simon
shortly.
Schuster is
The
fully
other
supportive
part of your
of the
question
Ambassador
is
Bolton's
about
First
the
Amendment
how
right
we approach
to tell the
testing.
story of his
The
time
answer is as we absolutely
in
do,
the
and we are
Trump White House.
frankly putting testing sites in communities.
You can
to
read
have
the
the
Simon
highest
and Schuster
with
book,
the overall
Bourbon,
goal, my
Ribs,
mantra is,
and
that
Rubs.
I want any New Yorker to be able to get
So it's great to cook ribs. I
where
make
they
jerk
live,
ribs on the
to
grill,
keep this as a local effort.
and
As we
that's
set
on my
up
website,
pop-up sites,
IntelligentLuxuryMagazine.com's
brick and mortar,
blog.
plus we now have our mobile
Experience the best of
restaurant
Southern
here.
cooking with
As we
complete
set up
menus
sites, we want
to
achieve
make
that.
summer entertaining. And that's Bourbon, Ribs, and Rubs, published by Simon and Schuster.
Setting up extra sites, or do you think you've reached the capacity that you can handle and what's required?
No, I think we need a fair amount more testing. So right now we're doing on a day-to-day basis well north of 20,000 tests a day. We've been doing that for the last 3 weeks or so.
Right now it's a great time
and
to
actually
purchase
some days we reach
furniture
north of 30,000
and
tests.
to donate to
First
Lehigh
was
Valley
north of 30,000
Hospital.
tests in a
You
given
can
day
go
in
to
New York City, and I
Zaxxons.com.
believe we hit a 33,000 day a couple days before that. But we, in terms of how we've modeled this, believe that we need to be hitting at least 50,000 tests a day by early August, as the virus, as the city reopens and the virus has the potential to be transmitted through the city. That's one of the key ways that we're going to
Zaxxons.com has
through the testing phase.
furnishings
So you
to
can
accent your
expect
traditional
north of 50,000
European
tests a
country
day
or
by August.
contemporary decor.
Next we have
And
Laura
that's
from
on
the Daily News. Laura?
Zaxxons.com.
Hi, Dr. Long. How are you?
Good.
PSmithDesign.com sells furniture, and they have stores.
The total cases
And
new and presumed
Safaveh,
positive is 5,347.
SAFAVIEH.com
This is cumulative over
has
since
furniture,
June
and
1st, I guess,
BakerFurniture.com.
right?
And I'll link to those on our
And
website
the total contacts generated
today. And
is
then there's the US Chef Store,
4,421.
great food, wholesale
Is
prices.
the total cases
Then you have USBank.com. Invest
inclusive
has
of
information
people
about
who tested
investing and retirement
positive
planning
and then
on
reached out to the
USBank.com.
contacts, and then the
And they have merchant
contacts,
services.
you are either
What I really
assuming
need
are
is
positive for the
embeddable
virus or went and
links
tested positive for the
to
virus.
have people pay for
Absolutely right.
purchases up to maybe $2 million.
My hat on for a moment. What you're bringing up here is really, really important. If
And
you
that's what I
have
need in
somebody
merchant
who's talking to
services.
this
It needs to be
exposed
embeddable,
virus,
linked
has
to,
symptoms,
so
they're
that they can
presumed
pay my
positive.
credit card
They're well
and
proven
then
otherwise, you can't prove otherwise.
deposit into
So
my
it's
bank
very
account.
important that we
PayPal
take
has
those
those
cases
services.
and immediately help
However,
them to
I
keep
believe
their
there's a
families and
limit.
neighbors safe
And
by
I don't know the
continuing
limit.
quarantining and not waiting for
How about
symptoms
Fashion
to
Week
come
in
back
New
and
York?
acting right away.
Great.
I say
And
symptoms
Fashion Week
like
in London and
So
Australia, the
all
Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week in
5,347
Australia.
of those cases should have been from either the moment of
getting contacted by the contact tracer or getting a positive test should have been quarantined.
Bloomingdale's sells clothing. Please visit bloomingdales.com. Please visit Louis Vuitton's website, louisvuitton.com.
Do you know that they
Watch Stephen Colbert from home. I played to attend the Super Bowl, and I plan to produce an event during the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh, that would be great to have an Infinity of Tampa car there. And you can go to infinityoftampa.com or Infinity. What's Infinity's website?
Or tracking or anything to make sure that people aren't going out, just to get a drink that one time and potentially spreading the virus.
On Google Infinity. InfinityUSA.com is Infinity's website. If you live outside of Tampa Bay, Florida.
What do you need to be successful keeping your family safe? Do you need more food delivery? Do you need help with your medications? You name it, we're there to provide that for you. And we hope that by doing a really good job of giving everything that you
as I read about Tampa, I didn't want to say that. Tampa Bay is hosting the Super Bowl, so if you're an event planner, a look as construction continues on the $550 million Midtown Tampa project located on the northeast corner, located in Tampa Bay. The Midtown Tampa project is in Tampa Bay near Raymond, close to Raymond James Stadium. The developers
but I just wanted to know if there will be more coming.
The developers have
What we're
several.
hearing while we're reporting from a lot of small businesses is that they're not getting enough guidance.
Complete the project by Super Bowl 50, and it will include the Bay Area's first store from specialty outdoor retailer REI Co-op, its largest Whole Foods market, 400 apartments, a dual-branded Aloft hotel. You can own a hotel and have it managed by Marriott or Aloft.
The business owners in the city have struggled and will continue to struggle.
And I believe Aloft is a subsidiary of Marriott International Hotels and Element. Element is also a subsidiary hotel of Marriott. So he owns the property, I believe, the developer. Bromley is CEO, Mr. Haynes. And this is what he said. There's going to be a fitness trail and growing collection of restaurants that now includes locations for Chef Chris Ponte, known for Cafe Ponte in Clearwater, and on Swan in South Tampa, Burns Bar and Grill, and the Bay Area's first Shake Shack. And sorry about that disconnection. So thank you, Mr. Haynes, and thank you, Tampa Bay Times. So I want to have a party, like a literary event for people who wrote books about the NFL and for people who are NFL players who wrote books. And then we can have a dance afterwards. We can dance, or we can dance. It's great to read and then dance. So hopefully that everything will complete. Kobe Bryant, the retired LA Laker, promotes art of sport. And the website, you can Google art of sport. And then Body Armor, the sports drink, Google Body Armor. But the links are on my website, IntelligentLuxuryMagazine.com. And art of sport and Body Armor are perfect Father's Day gifts. Mr. Kobe Bryant also created the Wizard series, Training Camp, Legacy and the Queen, and the Tree of Ecroft. The NBA All-Star Game is going to be in Indiana, and they have the Nothing But Knit to promote awareness and participation in anticipation of the 2021 NBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. Throughout our community, we are asking for fans to help us create 6,000 Nothing But Knit beanies to be worn by volunteers and frontline hospitality employees during the 2021 NBA All-Star Weekend and given as gifts to All-Star players, coaches, and other NBA VIPs. Please travel to NBA.com for more information about the 2021 NBA All-Star Weekend. I know that there are a lot of parties during the NBA All-Star Weekend, and there are events hosted by the NBA.
I did too.
And it's really a lot of fun you meet a lot of, it's really a lot of fun to travel to an event that's hosted by the NBA that might not be the All-Star game. I plan to release these I plan to produce elegant luxury programs. Please read about my programs on my website, intelligentluxurymagazine.com. I own the website. It's really inexpensive to own a website. It only costs maybe up to around $50 to $100 a month to operate a website. And you can create crafts. Please watch CNBC on CNBC.com. Thank you, John Fort Knox, for answering my question or reading my statement. I appreciate that. So I like watching CNBC.com online. I love Free People clothes. I'm wearing Free People today over my Walmart dress.
I'll jump in if we can't hear you.
Okay.
So this is my Free People.
All right.
I read the New York Times, and we talked about the New York Times on Sunday, yesterday. I read the Wall Street Journal. I subscribed to it in the past. So, dress in Free People. Please visit freepeople.com. I'm a lifetime member of the NAACP. Please visit NAACP.org. So let's talk about REITs. There's the REIT. You can lease space at PREIT. PREIT is a REIT. You can purchase Father's Day gifts at store.moma.org/for-home. And you can purchase an Airstream, I guess, if you want, on Airstream.com for your father. Go on in the Airstream, go fishing. Have a fishing competition where people have Airstream. So I read the novel Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. It's a Barnes & Noble classic. You can purchase that at Barnes & Noble booksellers. And my mother purchased several different books for me, like The Iliad by Homer, and also Little Women. So I read Little Women yesterday, and I'm going to read I'm cooking the tilapia, no oil. There's a little water from the frozen tilapia, and it's an African fish. It's a fish found in rivers in Africa.
Thank you. Next to Sean for the Daily News.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I can't follow that act.
The Indy 500 or the IndyCar 104th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gamebridge. There might be sponsorship opportunities on IndianapolisMotorSpeedway.com.
They may be able to tell you about people who protesters were close to for a longer amount of time. It sounded like there was a but there that you didn't make explicit. I'm wondering if you can do that. I was hearing you as saying it's
this is my shirt, my Free People shirt over my Walmart. And I don't iron it. Maybe my iron is have to get a new iron. It's really use it rust. So then, even if you drain the water, you need to purchase a new iron. So then, so iron is the trend. That's what we had to do. We said trend. Event planners, you can plan events at Formula One. So Formula1.com is a luxury car. It's similar to NASCAR, but this is luxury cars. I don't know if NASCAR races luxury cars, but you know what I know about NASCAR? Because I read Black Enterprise, and there are a lot of African Americans that were in Black Enterprise that own NASCAR teams. So that's why a lot of African Americans watch NASCAR, because of Black Enterprise. He's from the other side of the, they used to, what? I don't know. He's from New York too, I guess. So Thank you, blackenterprise.com.
Okay, maybe I could rephrase it by kind of tossing out a hypothetical. So I witnessed a protest in Harlem a few weeks ago, and if someone tests positive at that protest,
there are strong
doesn't
units
know me,
economics.
is unable to name me as a
Bojangles is the
potential
iconic brand
contact,
franchise owners love to own.
why
Today, thank you, Bojangles.
or something saying, hey,
Formula One. Thank you for sponsoring Formula One. Oh, so you know, there's a man that's African and British, and he
get people like me or whoever to come in and get tested.
was on the Mercedes. So he won a lot of races in Formula One. So I like watching Formula One, and I had a friend that works for a company that conducts a lot of automobile races. I don't know which company, and so he has all this information. He was telling me, I said, I don't know if I want to watch racing. And then I said, well, let me watch it if you want. So they race luxury cars like Mercedes-Benz, and preferably I'll be able to attend an event.
Will make us the most successful. And this
so
is
he is a good guy.
Want to encourage everybody.
He's a he. He's a he.
To come to one of our more than 180 locations today. In your example,
so he's my friend.
In that protest,
and I have to ask him which events he attends or promotes.
It's the right thing to keep New York City safe.
So it's going to start July 3rd in Austria, and then they're going to be in Hungary. In August, they're going to be in the United Kingdom, and in Spain, and in Belgium, and Italy. So I guess they're not going to be in the United States this year. Preferably, maybe they can be in the United States this year too. And that's Formula1.com. You know, I understand that people don't like certain people. I can understand people shouting things out and embarrassing people. But putting a speaker in someone's home and repeating bad things about people is totally unacceptable to behave that way. And it's totally unacceptable to stalk people that way. It's totally unacceptable. Oh, so let's talk about Formula One. I'll tell you the name of the driver. And he drives for Mercedes-Benz. His name is Lewis Hamilton. Sorry, Mr. Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton is from the United Kingdom, and he drives on a Mercedes-Benz. He has a Mercedes-Benz team. So his number is 44. So this is interesting. Like I said, Black Enterprise has women, African-American women, and African-American men who... Black Enterprise has articles about African-American men and women who own teams. So they create, they own the car, they pay the people, and they put advertisements on the car. So that's a race team. And I read about that in Black Enterprise. So, anyway, so you have Lewis Hamilton, and he wins a lot of races. And so thank you, Mr. Hamilton. So then also you have Val. He races, he wins a lot too. BMW races cars, as well as Nissan. So Nissan races cars for NASCAR, and so they have a lot of teams. Let me tell you the teams. They have Alfa Romeo, Alfa Tauri, Ferrari, Haas, McLaren, Mercedes, Renault, Racing Point, Williams, and those are some of the luxury cars that have racing teams. And there are other racing companies. So, anyway, I'm sorry, my computer is work thinking. So most Chestnut stars in the Resident television series, and you may be able to watch that on video on demand. Then also, the animated film Soul, a Walt Disney film, will be in theaters soon. The Lovebirds, that's going to star Angela Bassett and Mr. James and Mrs. Angela Bassett. The Lovebirds is on Netflix that stars Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani, and that's a film by Paramount Pictures. And then The Calling of the Wild starring Harrison Ford. I think that's a film by Warner Brothers. And then Bass Pro Shops has camping equipment, and then luxury camping. Luxury camping, you have your recreational vehicles, and I'm still going to do research about the luxury tents. There are tents where they have heat, and also other things. So I'll hopefully be able to go to places that sell luxury tents. And I wanted to talk about this, the 2020 JP Morgan Corporate Challenge, a series of 3.5-mile team running, walking, post-event partying events with roots going back to 43 years, will expand into 3 cities: Buenos Aires, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Philadelphia. And the series debuted with one race in Central Park in 1977. The 2020 JP Morgan Corporate Challenge Series is scheduled to begin on Thursday in March in Johannesburg. Other confirmed dates are Singapore in April, Chicago in May. Actually in London, England in July, San Francisco in September, and Sydney in October. For more information about the forthcoming 2020 JP Morgan Corporate Challenge Series in Boston, Shanghai, and Syracuse, you can visit their website, chase.com. And that's jpmorganchase.com. And it's, jpmorganchasecc.com/series/corporate-challenge. And you can walk at this event, so I would love to walk. It's 44 years in the running and the global celebration of corporate teamwork, camaraderie, and community. Support Indies Black-owned restaurants. That's in Indianapolis. So when you go to the Super Bowl, you can eat at Indies Black-owned food businesses, and they are Comida, Maxine's Chicken and Waffles, Gordon's Milkshake Bar, and Michael's. And Kitchen. There's also teas, like in tea with tea, drinking tea. Teas Mi Cafe. And the Preet. Let's say a CEO of the Preet is Mr. Corradino. And when you visit Philadelphia, you can shop in the Fashion District. And that is a great place to shop. Or you can shop at the Cherry Hill Mall or the Plymouth Meeting Mall. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is where we have the Historical Society of Philadelphia, and that's on 13th and Locust Streets. And you can go to philaplace.org. On the philaplace.org, I read about Curtis Publishing Plant by the Historical Society of Pennsylvania. Curtis Publishing Plant lofts at Bella Vista. You can see images of that, I think, on philaplace.org. Curtis Publishing was America's premier publisher of popular mass circulation magazines like Ladies' Home Journal and the Saturday Evening Post, and it was based in Philadelphia. The building has been converted into luxury condominiums and renamed lofts at Bella Vista. And we have our tilapia. Our tilapia is cooking. And we can cut it in half. And we're going to just cook it and add vegetables and stuff the mushrooms. So we're going to wash the mushrooms. And Charlotte Regional Business Alliance is on charlotteregion.com. There's also, please donate to the Charlotte Public Library. I pray to have an event at the Charlotte Public Library. There's also a President James K. Polk State Historic Site in the city of Charlotte, open now, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for self-guided tours and interpretive talks on Saturdays at 10 a.m. The Historical Cooking Guild of the Catawba Valley is a Mecklenburg Historical Association, and you can travel to that website, meckdec.org. Durham Historical Society has preservation.durham.org. They may have a lot of information about my ethnic minorities at the historical societies, so it's really important to visit those societies and other ethnicities, and you know, it's really interesting. So you have Oklahoma City, their exhibit in the vernacular everyday images of Oklahoma life, and Oklahoma's, that's from the Oklahoma Historical Society. We're going to discuss California and Iowa after I make my food. And we're going to stuff an orange. So as we stuff the orange and mushroom, this is a great dish or recipe to use for any of your events. And we're going to stuff peppers. If you don't have a serving platter, use paper plates, use a plate, use a pie container if you don't have a serving dish. I'm using a ceramic pie dish to serve. I have stuffed long peppers. I have long peppers here. I'm going to stuff it with the fish. And I have portobello mushrooms. You can use boar's head blue cheese. You can use any type of blue cheese. As long as you all have a budget so that you can live. I have a wasabi peas. I'm going to use just 1 spoonful or a tablespoon of the peas. And our tilapia fish is completely cooked. It's a white fish. It's white. It becomes very, very good when you cook it. I'm going to add coconut milk. You can use any type of coconut milk. And we're going to add black beans. And sun-dried tomato. They actually cut those sun-dried tomatoes and washed them in the store, and they are covered. And I don't know if I can hear this person because I'm not watching their show, or even if they have a show, so they should be arrested. I have this here, and I took this out of the mushroom, and we could stuff the mushroom. You can use a knife. And just cut the middle after washing the mushroom. Use vinegar or lemon juice, water. They do usually wash the vegetables, and you can cut this. I just want to tell anyone who's an adult who's unemployed that they may be able to start their own show. And it's alright if you don't have an iron. It's alright if you have what you have. You can start your own business. Just be good. So, it's good to have a budget. It's about being an artist. It's about being an artisan. It's about creating products and services. It's alright, at least you don't steal. You know what I'm saying? At least people don't steal. Luxury is not stealing. Luxury is if you are poor, living anywhere, creating a product or service to sell so that you can reside in a safe home that's free of vermin, it's free of anything bad, So I'm taping this live because Facebook is storing it. So video is a lot of, it takes, really that's why I'm filming live. So thank you, Facebook. So I actually upload these videos to my blog, website's blog, so you don't have to watch right now. You can watch at another time. We're going to stuff the peppers. You can cut the pepper in half and then we'll stuff it. So this pepper, use a cutting board. You can cut it. You can use a plastic, glass, or some people say unlaminated wood is uncleanable. But this is laminated. And we cut it. I'm such a pretty woman, pretty personality. I'm going to continue to stuff my pepper. So sometimes they have seeds in it. You can take the seeds out. And you can use a knife to take the seeds out. And we stuff the fish. The fish is right here. And we're going to add coconut milk, but not a lot, about a tablespoon. And you can stir the coconut milk and scrape out the seeds of the peppers. So this is I'm doing this the way that I want to do it, not the Cook TV way. They have editors and all that. I don't right now. So this is fun if you don't have editors like me, you don't have storage space. Just use Facebook Live or YouTube Studio. cut this in half, and then you'll be able to remove the seeds. I'm not going to remove all the seeds. It's so much fun to cook. It's exciting to cook. As you cut the pepper in half, these are hot long peppers, and you can stuff them. Don't eat the brown seeds. Take out the brown seeds if there are brown seeds. As I stuff these long hot peppers, and I can stuff the mushrooms, I'm placing the mushrooms in the middle. We have sage here, and we can cut the sage or place it on here. Add Greek food, so Greek food is really good. I have a falafel for fiber with just a little bit of French fries. You should add fiber to it, either eat beans or vegetables. If you're having French fries, it's really good. So it's really good to make a falafel. And you can see recipes for my falafels on my website, IntelligentLuxuryMagazine.com's blog. And there's a link to the blog on the website. So Michael Jordan has 3 steakhouses, one in the state of Washington in the Elani Resort, and one in Chicago and one in Connecticut in the Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort. And have pepper. I'm gonna stuff the peppers. See if this. So I watch Butter and Brown on Aspire TV. So they have, millions of dollars, and I have this. And I'm doing this because it's important to, if you are home, you don't have a job, or if you're an adult, don't have a job, or just start talking on YouTube. Start talking on Facebook about what you want to do with your life, or study online and talk about different things. It would be fun. Isn't that what I wanted to say? I wanted to say, talk about your resume. Read your resume on video. Talk about your college education. Talk about what you learned in college. And that will, maybe it will help you earn employment or clients if you have your own business. So you don't have to watch the entire episode at one time. You can watch it. But if you're having fun, it's better. Prison is boring, so it's better just to live on a budget, not overspend, not be in debt so that you have to live in a bad area, not steal, and start creating with donations. Start being an artist with food, with words, with music, with art. And now I'll show you. I have this Free People shirt over Walmart dress and my Walmart shoes. And then I have this. So these are the long red peppers, green peppers, and these are portobello mushrooms. And I'm going to stuff it with the tilapia. Sorry, I couldn't read something. And I had to use this stool. Then I have the black beans. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to just use a spatula to cut this tilapia. And I'm not going to add any oil. I'm heating up the beans. The beans are cooked if they're in a can, and you can boil them. However, the beans in a bag are dried, and you have to boil them for about an hour or more until they're soft. And you don't need to add salt with beans. And I have an onion. I'm going to use 1/4 of this, 1/4 of this, half an onion. I'm sorry, my friend Althea, she has her own show on Facebook. I think it's on Tuesdays at 10. However, I have no other time to tape it. So usually I watch that show a little later. And then my friend Sherry has a show. And then Seth on Facebook has a podcast. We all graduated from Temple University. And I chopped up this onion. And you can stuff it. So chop it into small pieces. If you don't have the right knife, use a knife. I mean, this is all about budgeting. And you can, what I usually do in the summer, take my food to the park. If someone didn't steal my car, or physically assault. And that's what some people do. So then, cutting the onion, chopping the onion, and we have to add this. You know, at Temple, we meet a lot of different people at college, so it's great to be a member of the press and the White House correspondent. we can put these in a plastic container and we can add a clove of garlic. I can add a clove of garlic, so you can add, I'm gonna add a clove of garlic. We have to use a clove of garlic. I am chopping garlic, a garlic clove. I'm using one garlic clove. Tilapia fish, smiling at my mom and God. I just pray to God that this person says talk to me. And I am not schizophrenic. Some people can illegally put a speaker in your house to talk to you. And they can use subliminal messages, and if you took marketing 101, you would know. If you take marketing classes, you know that advertisers use subliminal messages to warn you about different things, about products and services, or to tell you how to use products and services. I have boiled black beans, more oil, and onion, and I'm going to cut this sage leaf from my garden. My garden is in my house. A few of the plants died, and I don't know why. I might have to move, and we need more sun. And that's it. So anyway, I'm chopping up this one sage leaf. You can use sage from the grocery store, from Whole Foods Market, or the grocery store, and add that sage. Okay, so now that the fish is cooked, all you need to do is add coconut milk, and I'm going to add it. stirred. There's a recipe on the Goya can for fillet of red snapper with coconut milk. And we can pour about 2 tablespoons of the coconut milk with reduced fat and add it. I'm going to add about a few wasabi peas. And we can add a little pepper. Let's add red crushed pepper. We're going to add our sun-dried tomatoes. I'm only going to add about a tablespoon of sun-dried tomatoes. And these are pre-washed and sliced inside a container from the grocery store. It's cut. Sometimes they're not cut. So just 1 spoon of sun-dried tomatoes. These wasabi peas, they're peas, dried peas with wasabi. And actually someone at Engage One-on-One told me about a writer at Engage One-on-One in the magazine where I worked. He told me about wasabi peas, so it was great. Just add it to, you can stuff it. You can add it to this filling here. And then about a half a spoon of blue cheese, crumbled. Any type of blue cheese. Little. And I'm going to add it to the mushrooms and the pepper and the stuffing. And we can use 1 clove of raw garlic. That tastes good. I never knew someone could hypnotize a swim, so my mom won't give him any money. Because they're going to prison soon. Now, as I heated the tilapia with the sun-dried tomatoes, the wasabi peas, and the black beans, I'm going to add going to add a few spices, several spices, and that'll be black pepper, I'm adding Old Bay seasoning hot for seafood. You can use any type of seasoning. And remember, just 1/4 teaspoon adding onion powder, garlic powder, adding onion powder, and crushed red pepper. About 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning hot. And a little vinegar and celery seed and thyme. I'm really terrified of evil people. Thank God I'm happy. I'm happy when I'm with good people. I'm not happy when I'm being raped by this voice and hypnotism. And I'm mixing this here. So remember to watch, Maurice Dubois, 5 and 11, and NBC News, and NBC News, that's the host news show on NBC. I met Mr. Holt, so thank you. It's all about being quiet and nice. So I use one. We don't need a lot of this tilapia. And we're going to place this in a container. I'm adding this to a cup. So this is a cup. I'm adding the tilapia. and the spinach, onion, and the black bean. So 1/2 of the mix I'm adding to the mushrooms. I'm stuffing the long hot pepper with the fish and beans. I'm going to cook this. These are the stuffed mushrooms. And one hot peppers. So we can have one mushroom. Right. That is good. And the mushroom tastes like mushroom. And the fish and the garlic powder. Good, good, good. And remember to go to Barnes & Nobles too, or your independent booksellers. So thank you all the New Jersey independent booksellers. Thank you, my local hometown, Rockland County, Bergen County, Westchester County independent bookstores, and Barnes & Noble stores. Has The Summer House, written by James Patterson. On sale at stores, The Jane Austen Society, a novel by Natalie Jenner, and Deacon King Kong by James McBride. Bookseller favorites. Visit BarnesandNoble.com for more information. And I added thyme. That tastes good. Vice President Pence is visiting Iowa today, and the Office of the Governor of Iowa, Kim Reynolds, is the and you can cook the mushrooms too. But you can, some people put uncooked mushrooms in a salad.
The President of the United States.
The President of the United States is speaking. What did he speak? Did he speak in that? So he's going to deliver remarks and sign an executive order on safe policing for safe communities. And this is live. So I'm a White House correspondent, and maybe I'll be able to travel as I earn more revenue. I am invited to different events by the White House. However, I can't tell people ahead of time. It's classified.
Thank you very much, please.
Where I'm specifically where I'm going.
Thank you all for being here as we take historic action
to the White House.
Deliver a future of safety and security for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. We're joined today by law enforcement professionals and community leaders. Though we may all come from different backgrounds, we're united by our dignity, and equality for all Americans. I've just concluded a meeting with incredible families, just incredible families that have been through so much. The families of Ahmaud Arbery, Botham Jean, Antoine Rose, Jamel Roberson, Adiana Jefferson, Michael Dean, Darius Tarver, Cameron Lamb, and Everett Palmer. These are incredible people. Incredible people. It's so sad. Many of these families lost their loved ones in deadly interactions with police. To all of the hurting families, I want you to know that all Americans mourn by your side. The loved ones died in vain. We are one nation. We grieve together. We heal together. I can never imagine your pain or the depth of your anguish, but I can promise to fight for justice for all of our people. And I gave a commitment to all of those families today with Scott, Attorney General Bill Barr. We are going to pursue what we said. We will be pursuing it, and we will be pursuing it strongly, Tim, right? I want to recognize Attorney General Bill Barr, who's spent so much time on this and other matters like this. Bill, thank you very much. Good job you're doing. Along with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Tim Scott, and they're going to be working on a Senate bill also that could go hand in hand with this. And also Representatives Kelly Armstrong, Louis Gohmert, Jim Jordan, Guy Restenschauer, and Pete Stauber. And thanks also to Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody, of Police, Pat Yost, President of the International Association of Chiefs of Police, Stephen Cass-Stevens, and many other law enforcement leaders who are going to be joining me at the signing. Today is about pursuing common sense and fighting for a cause like we seldom get the chance to fight for. We have to find. But I strongly oppose the radical to defend, dismantle, and dissolve our police departments, especially now when we've achieved the lowest recorded crime rates in recent history. Americans know the truth. Without police, there is chaos. Without law, there is anarchy, and without safety, there is catastrophe. We need leaders at every level of government who have the moral clarity to state these obvious facts. Americans believe we must support the brave men and women in blue who police our streets and keep us safe. Americans also believe we must improve accountability, increase transparency, and invest more resources in police training, recruiting, and community engagement. Reducing crime and raising standards are not opposite goals. They are not mutually exclusive. They work together. They all work together. That is why today I'm signing an urging police departments nationwide to adopt the highest professional standards to serve their communities. These standards will be as high and as strong as there is on earth. The vast majority of police officers are selfless and courageous public servants. They are great men and women. When others run away from danger, police run straight into harm's way, often putting their lives at stake to protect someone who they don't know, never even met. Police officers run straight toward this incredible harm. Take the World Trade Center. They ran straight into the Twin Towers of 9/11. Many of them never returned. Never returned. Vast numbers. Never returned. Last year, I presented the Medal of Valor to 6 heroic police officers who ended a murderous rampage. So professional. Hundreds of people would have been killed, surely, without them. We ask our police to put on the uniform and risk their lives for us every day, the least we deserve, and the least we can do, because they deserve it so much. They have to get our gratitude, and we have to give them great respect for what they do. For the job is one of the most dangerous jobs on earth, the most difficult jobs on earth. Last year alone, 89 law enforcement officers were killed in the line of duty. In recent days, 2 members of law enforcement were killed amid riots and looting, and hundreds of police officers were injured just recently. 1 officer was shot in the head and is now laying in a hospital, almost totally paralyzed. Despite our very good record on crime, law and order must be further restored nationwide, and your federal government is ready, willing, and able to help. As we did in Minneapolis, as we got out of control for 4 days, sent in representatives, commonly known as the National Guard, and it was all put down very quickly. We're willing to help. We're willing to help in Seattle. We're willing to help anywhere you want. And we'll be there very quickly. It won't take long. There will be no more looting or arson, and the penalty will be very grave for those who get caught. Violence and destruction will not be tolerated. We cannot do that. The looters have no cause that they're fighting. Every day, police officers make great sacrifices to keep our communities secure and safe.
The president is going to sign an executive
In
order on safe
2018, our
policing
police
for safe
arrested nearly
communities.
12,000 people for murder, 25,000 people for rape, and nearly 1.5 million for assault.
So they're in the Rose
Dangerous
Garden
criminals.
of the White House.
In many cases,
For the White House correspondents
understaffed,
who are helping
under-supported.
people.
47%
They,
of all
I
murders in
believe
Chicago
that
and
in the Rose Garden
68%
is
of all
Mr.
murders
Jared
in Baltimore went
Kushner,
without
assistant
arrest.
to the president, a senior advisor,
Americans
Mr.
want law and order. They demand law and
Tim
order.
Pataki,
They may not say
deputy
it.
assistant to the president and
May
director of
not
the
be
Office
talking
of
about
Public
it, but
Liaison,
that's what they want.
Mr. Jerome
Some of
Smith,
them don't
deputy
even
assistant of the Office
And they
of
understand
American
that when you
Innovation,
remove the police,
Mr. Chris Pilkerton,
hurt
executive
those
director of
who have
Opportunity
the
Now,
least,
the Attorney
most.
General William Barr, Department
Nobody
of
needs a
Justice,
strong,
Ms. Sullivan, Principal Deputy Assistant Attorney
trustworthy
General for the
police
Office of
force,
Justice
more than
Programs,
those who
Ms.
live in
Bissett,
distressed areas,
Deputy
and nobody
Chief
is more
of Staff
opposed to
at the
the
Attorney
small number
General
of
and Counselor to the
bad
Attorney
public.
General.
They're very tiny.
Mr. Mitchell, Counselor to the
Tiny. It's
Attorney
a very
General.
small percentage.
Congress, Mr. Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican
Nobody
from
wants to get
Kentucky,
rid of them
Senator
more
Tim
than
Scott,
the
Republican from South Carolina,
overwhelming number of
Congressman
really good and
Pete
great
Stauber,
police officers
Republican from
Some of them
Minnesota,
are standing
Congressman
with
Kelly
me, with
Armstrong,
in the audience today.
Republican
Appreciate
from
you
North
doing
Dakota,
that.
Congressman Mr. Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio,
Thank you.
Congressman Guy Reschenthaler,
What's needed
Republican
now
from
is
Pennsylvania, and
not
Congress
more division. We
Republican
need
from
to
Texas,
bring law enforcement and communities
and
closer
from the
together,
Fraternal Order of the
not to
Police,
drive
Mr.
them
Yos,
apart.
and
Under
from
the executive
Attorney
order I'm signing
Association of
today, we
Chiefs of
will
Police,
prioritize
Mr.
federal grants from the
Caskevins,
Department of Justice
and the
to
President of the
police
Florida Sheriff's
departments that seek
Association, President of the
independent
Federal Law Enforcement
credentialing,
Officers
certifying that they meet high
Association, Sheriff
standards,
of
and in fact, in certain
Eddie County
cases,
in
the
New
highest
Mexico,
standards.
Sheriff of Livingston County
That's
in
where they do
Illinois,
the
Sheriff of
best.
Bristol County in
On the
Massachusetts,
use of force
International
and
Union of Police
de-escalation training.
Associations, Executive
For
Director,
example,
Chief
many
of Staff,
believe that proper
Senator
training
Tim
might
Scott,
have prevented
and
the tragic
others.
deaths of
I thank you for
Antoine
the poll.
Rose and Botham
Thank you.
Jean. As part of this new credentialing process, chokeholds will be banned, except if an officer's life is
Grill
at
Kids
risk.
for Father's Day. Michael Jordan's restaurant in Illinois, not the steakhouse, has Grill Kids Thursday through Sunday, the perfect solution for your Father's Day meal. All kids come with potato salad, pasta salad, and condiments, and $59 for the burger pack. That's a 4 8-ounce steakhouse blend burgers, $129 for the steak pack, 4 Lynn's Heritage Angus 10-ounce fillets. That's $129.
Information
Hot
about
dog
credible
kit,
abuses
$39.
with significant issues do not simply
and
move
the
from
kids,
one police
all the kids come
department
with
to the
potato
next.
salad, pasta salad, and
Problem.
condiments. And that's at
Police
michaeljordansrestaurant.com.
department said whatever you can do about that, please let us know. We're letting you know. We're doing a lot about it. In addition, my order will direct federal funding to support officers in dealing with homeless
The
individuals
University of Iowa.
and those who have mental illness
President
and
Banks.
substance abuse.
So let's
We
pray
will
about
provide
mental
more
illness.
resources
You know,
for
I feel bad that someone has
co-responders,
to go to prison. I think my
social
partner
workers who can help officers
wanted
manage
to
these
know about why
complex
it's so hard to
encounters.
send someone in prison.
This is what they
Because they can't
studied
fix
and
them,
worked
but
on
it
all
may
their
help the
lives.
sane
They
prisoners,
understand
but
how
not
to
the
do it
insane
with
stalker
best of them
prisoners who
put
want
in
to
our
murder you and actually do stalk you and
departments and
physically
working
assault
with
you.
our police. We will have reform
Let's talk about the
without
University of
undermining
Iowa
our
bid.
many great and extremely talented law
And
enforcement.
that Iowa
President
bid,
Obama and Vice President Biden never even tried to fix
and
this
they need people who
during their
produce
8-year
theater
period.
rights.
The reason they didn't try is because they had no idea
And
how
you
to
can
do
find
it.
out more about that if you
And it is a
Google it.
complex situation. Beyond the steps we are taking today, I am committed to working with Congress on additional measures. Congress has started, and they'll be having bills coming out of the Senate and possibly out of the House.
The
Hopefully
U.S.
they'll all
Department
get
of
together
State,
and they'll come up with a solution that goes even beyond what we're
with the
signing
United
today. But this
States,
is a big,
assumed the
big step, a
championship
step that
of
hasn't
the
been taken
International
before.
Commission for the International Tracing Service,
But in order to make
renamed
real
the Arlington
progress on
Archives
public
International
safety,
Center on Nazi
we have to break
prosecution.
old
So you remember
patterns of failure.
Adolf Hitler, he was a Nazi, the leader of the
Many of the
Nazis,
same
and he persecuted
politicians
people
now
who
presenting
he didn't like
themselves
based on
as
their
the solution.
on
The
religion
same
or
ones who have
appearance.
failed for decades on schools, jobs, justice, and crime.
And the U.S. delegation
They're all
is headed by Sherry Miss
awful.
Daniels, of the Department of State
Unfortunately,
Special
the same
Envoy for Holocaust
politicians running
issues,
the cities and
working in
states
close cooperation with the United
where
States
help is
Holocaust
most
Memorial
needed.
Museum as the official U.S.
It's an
digital
attitude.
copy holder of the ITS
It's not
archive.
working.
So the
Today's
the
action
ITS
is a
Archives
big
is the
part of
International
the
Commission
solution
for
to
the
restoring,
International
renewing,
Tracing
and
Service,
rebuilding our
or the
communities.
Alston Archives.
For the last 3.5 years,
And
my
the Alston Archives is the
administration
world's
has been
largest and
focused
most comprehensive archive on
creating
victims and survivors of the
opportunity, fighting for
Holocaust
equal justice,
and Nazi persecution.
and truly
The
delivering
archives contains
results.
nearly 30 million
Nobody has
documents
ever
on 17.5 million
results
individuals,
like
including
we
former
deliver.
concentration
Nobody's
camps.
come
Remember, you don't
And
have to
we
watch
work
this live.
with
This
some
is tape, and I will
great
edit it
people
eventually. I
to
just
get
have
it
to pick
done.
a data server
We
and some more
enacted
space.
landmark
It just takes
criminal
time.
justice reform, something
adjust
that
my
nobody
budget.
else could get done. They tried and they couldn't even come close. So we got it done, and we got it done.
This is an event that I won't be able to attend, but this is the
People
reopening of the
appreciate
construction alley.
Something
And
that
at
with all the work
Bellsfield,
that years,
you can
criminal
hear from
justice reform,
Bellsfield
nobody else could get done.
development partners and other
Secured
companies
permanent and record funding for
like BTMPC Construction and
HBCUs,
advanced
that's
testing on how they are putting the
historically
latest
black
safety measures in place
colleges and
to
universities.
restart instruction on the
Numbers
Hudson
that they
Valley
never
Economic
thought were
Development
possible.
Corporation's Facebook Live page.
And long-term financing. As they would come back to the White House after my third year, I said, why are you here again? 4 people, about 42 people, the heads of black colleges.
The Food and Cooking, the Food Network and the Cooking Channel
They do
has
such an
Scobie
incredible job.
WFF
And I'd see them
presented
after
by
the third
Capital
year, I
One.
said, "Why are you doing
Learn how
this?"
to mix cocktails if you are over the age of 21, alongside some of Miami's top mixologists and spirit experts.
Classes had to come back every
And I
single year.
think
I said, well, the
that
only
they
bad
are
thing about what
online?
I'm going to do is I'm going to give you long-term financing and I'm going to up the amount. And I won't get
However,
to
you
see
can go
So that's the
to
bad part. You can focus on education now
SOBWFF.org,
instead of worrying about
SOBWFF.org for
dealing
more
with us in
information
Washington.
about
So we did that.
classic Cuban cocktails classes hosted by Gio Quinteros. And they're going to be on Zoom. It's going to be free. So learn more about that.
Incredible people.
I think I
Get
want
to
to
know a lot of the heads
I
of
think
those
I can
colleges. They do an unbelievable job.
I'll try
And
to
don't
continue to register.
kind of notoriety. We expanded affordable options for better health care. We created opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott. Brought it to me.
Talk about Mayor de
Passed it,
Blasio.
right?
I'm
But we
looking
got it
for
passed, and I think it's probably one of the great things that we've
the
done
U.S. State Department
in
wants
this
to promote
administration.
press freedom in the
Tens
Philippines.
of thousands of jobs, billions and billions of dollars being brought into areas and neighborhoods that
Airstream.
would never,
Remember
ever
to go shopping for
ever
Airstream if you can afford an Airstream.
taken care of monetarily. Areas that didn't have 10 cents put them in them for years and decades, and now people are investing, thriving, and the jobs come back. We achieved the lowest Black, Hispanic, and Asian unemployment rates in American history, and we will do it again.
So
We're fighting for school choice.
just looking for
It really is the
information
civil
on that.
rights of all time in this country. Frankly, school choice
My
is the
search
civil
engine
rights
isn't working.
statement of the year, of the
Okay.
decade, and probably beyond. Because all children have to have access to quality education. A child's zip code in America should never determine their future, and that's what was happening. So we're very, very strong on school choice, and I hope everybody remembers that. It's happening. It's already happened, but it's happening. We have from people that know they shouldn't be opposing it. School choice. All children deserve equal opportunity because we are all made equal by God. So true. Great jobs market and thriving economy is probably the best
Mayor de Blasio
thing
delivered remarks at Exodus Transitional
Black,
Communities, East Harlem Prayer and
Asian
Protest.
communities.
And
We saw that just
I actually
recently prior
attended a
to the
church
virus
event
that came in
on
from
Zoom when
China
Mayor de Blasio
just a few
talked.
months ago. What a horrible thing it was all over the world, 188 countries now. Just wanna
And
say
that was at the
we've
New
done
Hope Christian
incredibly
Fellowship.
Well, we're doing things are happening that nobody
Virtual
can
Zoom
believe.
virtual
Our
worship
country's
service.
opening up.
The mayor talked about giving
We had the
honor to
best
God, and
unemployment
without
and
him, this
employment.
day would not be possible. And Bishop, thank you. He said he has taken such joy from being with the New Hope community
We're up to
before.
almost
And you're
160
right, we'll count the
million
blessings
people
of
working.
technology
There was never
that we
anything
get
even
to be
close.
together this way. Isn't it a
It's for
blessing when
almost
you can
every
attend
group,
church
including
on Zoom?
Black,
So
Hispanic,
the bishop,
Asian,
he was really interesting.
women, young people,
And
old
I
people,
wanted to tell, so
young
Bishop, he
people
says, I want to
without
say
a high
that
school
what he's
diploma.
seen in your life and the work of
Every
your
group.
congregation is a
Everybody was
belief that
thrilled.
change can
Everybody
come, and
had
a belief that change ultimately can come most powerfully from the grassroots.
high-paying jobs.
And we in government are not
Our
to play
country
the
was
role of
never in a
bringing
better
change and
position,
bestowing
and we
it.
were
That's
planning
not
on
what
massive
works.
growth. It was happening.
In
It was
the
already
end,
there.
what works is empowering the
Including
grassroots.
big salary increases, which were already taking place for the last 2.5 years. Big increases, record increases. Nobody's seen anything like it. And then we got hit by the virus, along with the rest of the world, and now I'm building it up again. Here we go again.
Somebody's gonna put on a problem.
But I'm building it up again, and it's moving fast. And it will be even better than before. We also learned it will be better than before. Jobs are rapidly coming back. And retail sales that we just announced
at
2 hours
SDA
ago,
Church's Atlantic Youth
just a
Ministries,
little while ago,
but that was a
they're up a
Facebook Live
staggering
event.
17.7%.
Education, one thing, if you know the STA world, you know to the power of
The
education.
projection was anywhere from 6 to 8%. We're up 17.7%. And what does that mean? The stock market through the roof. These good numbers, they drove it up to a level that
And
almost at the same level. Hard to believe. We're
I
getting
thank the
very close
president
to
for
the level
talking
we
about
were
this
before
issue.
the
There are a lot of law
pandemic,
people who are in law
before
enforcement who are African American, who are European American. So be nice to the police if they're nice to you.
Ultimately,
If they're rude to you, still try to be nice. If they're violent towards you, still try to be nice so that you don't get accused of assaulting a police officer. So that's one of the things that I taught out of class with the guidance of an attorney
Today and over the last 60 days, we've had one of the biggest
to law enforcement when you're being arrested, not saying anything that might incriminate you, and then prayerfully you may be released by the police. A lot of the police don't want people to be in prison. If you're not violent, they may try to find some type of place for you to help you with any type of addiction, or help you get a job. It's important to be nice to people. So that's
when the
what
numbers
if
reach the
someone,
point
if
that
a
I know
police
they
is
will,
violent
there
towards
will
you,
again be
try to,
unity and the
file,
great spirit in our
you
country.
you have to say
We'll have
something.
that job back.
You have to
They might
go
have
to
lost.
another police department if that's.
They'll be making even more money.
You have to
than
try.
they
You
did
have to keep
before.
trying to.
Some brilliant people working
get
with
off.
me and put it together. We did it once, and we're very easily doing it again. We're way ahead of schedule. You'll see that. You'll see the third quarter numbers will be very good. You'll see fourth quarter will be really good, and you'll see next year will be one of the best economic years this country has ever had. Quickly, way ahead of schedule, and I think you'll see that.
The City of New York
People can't
Mayor's
even believe what
office,
they're looking at.
and Mayor
But on
Blasio
top of all of
announced
that, before the end of the year, I predict we will have a very successful vaccine, therapeutic,
there'll be a
and cure,
vaccine.
making tremendous
So
progress.
then,
I deal with these
there's
incredible
different
scientists,
things
doctors,
about this.
very, very closely.
I'm sorry. Let me
Great
do
respect
this.
for their minds.
So this is about climate change. It's really serious.
And they've come
So
up
he says, as we continue on the path of
with
recovery,
cures and
we will
therapeutics
continue
over
to
the years.
center.
These are the
I'm
people
summarizing the
best,
center
the
climate
smartest, the
justice
most
in our
brilliant
approach, said Mayor Bill de
come up with,
Blasio, and he's confident to fight global warming and create a resilient city.
the AIDS, and as you know, there's various things, and now various companies are involved. But the therapeutic for AIDS, AIDS was a death sentence. People realize
Of the panel will inform Mayor de Blasio about the efforts to
Ebola
ensure
vaccine.
prepared to withstand emerge stronger from the threat of climate change.
Well, these are the people
So,
that
you know, I like to take the train to the city to drive if I know that I used to work at night, overnight, as a radio station
I will tell you, we're very
board
far
operation.
advanced. We've already started
And,
tests and trials.
So a lot of people, I used to work in my hometown, and I traveled to the city. I worked overnight
I always say,
at
even
CBS
without it,
Radio as a radio board operator, not as a disc jockey.
we had therapeutics or cure.
And so it's really good that sometimes I had to drive into New York City because I worked overnight.
Fantastic day.
But if you're able to take the train, it's a nice train ride. There are a lot of
Americans can
places
achieve
for you
anything
to
when we work together.
city of any state.
Go forward, we must seek cooperation, not confrontation. We must build upon our heritage, not tear it down. And we must cherish the principles of America's founding as we strive to deliver safe, beautiful,
So anyway,
elegant,
as I played,
justice,
anyway,
and liberty for all.
I usually travel to New York City
I'd like
just to
now
shop
to
or
invite
work, so I worked
Our
overnight.
great friends, because they are our great friends from law
And
enforcement.
it is actually interesting.
officers
I did
representing
actually
their
park in
groups
several parking
come up
lots.
as a
So it's important
asking,
to park in
Mitch,
parking
Tim,
lots.
all of
So
the
I
people
think
that are
that's
here
like a
from
good way. So your
Congress.
car doesn't get
Go
towed.
back.
It's good to park in parking.
Get something
If the
done,
parking lot
see
has to close,
really
or if you don't get back in time to
There'll be
pay
a lot
your
of
parking fee.
representatives from Congress and the Senate. If they can go back and add to what we're signing today,
I wanted to talk about the
it'll be a big
expansion of
moment.
Black
It'll be a big moment. But this is a
Lives Matter
tremendous step.
movement.
This is a
Mayor de
step
Blasio
that
announced that the city will begin
could have been
street
taken
coding
years ago, but people
and street painting
chose
in
not
all
to
five
do
boroughs
that.
to commemorate the Black Lives
in
Matter
my
movement.
opinion, a big mistake.
Black lives do
Solves
matter.
a lot of the problems that
But
we have
remember,
now.
history is history,
So
and we
like
do
law
have to,
enforcement, if you
you
can
know,
come forward, we
read
had the
more about the opposition in order to
endorsement
a
of the
debate, and
Federal
that's
Law
what we do as
Enforcement
if you're a
Officers
debator. I was a
Association.
debator. You have to read both sides of the
Fraternal
opinion in
Order
order
of
to
Police,
argue an
International
opinion.
Association
If you
of
don't know their
Chiefs of
opinion,
National
debate or
Union
a
of
mock
Police
trial.
Associations, Major County Sheriffs of America
I'm sorry I can't find this
National
information about small
Association of
business
Police
right now.
Organizations,
But I'd like to
National
thank all the
District
law enforcement
Attorneys
officers who are really nice to you. All the police
National
have helped me
Sheriffs Association,
and helped all of us
Sergeants,
who were fortunate
Benevolent
enough not to be
Association,
come
and many
criminals.
others. They've worked on this with me and my team. It's been fantastic.
So thank you for watching. You can watch the president on usually YouTube or Facebook Live.
What they are saying, because
And that's it. So I may tape tomorrow. And remember, you can watch it. You don't have to watch live. You can watch it anytime.